this come from?
We actually went and picked this up for my dad out of New Jersey. We got this, and it's been sitting in
the only reason to go to Jersey.
It's been sitting in a barn, kind of like a makeshift barn for like at least 15 years. So
we got some pictures of that too.
Yeah, we got some pictures, some videos of all that process. So we're gonna go through and see if we can't polish up. We know it's gonna be patina, so it's never gonna be really good, but Griot sent us all kinds of stuff to try to correct the paint on it, see if we can't get a little bit of shine to it before we repaint the whole truck this spring. So I think it's gonna be a cool project, and my dad's really gonna like it.
What's the significance of this truck, Dan?
So my dad had one of these when I was a kid, and he ended up having to sell it. I traded in for a minivan. So my mom could take all of us to school and band and chorus and whatever us kids were into.
I mean, how many of you?
I'm the youngest of 8, so
it's a big van.
Yeah, it was a big van.
Not so
so
many.
if I remember correctly, he just even traded this for a Chrysler like Woody wagon. So it's even worse. And it wasn't even new; it was used. So we always said that we were going to try to find him one, and my mom reached out a little bit ago and said, "Hey, I need you and Andy to help me find a Lil Red Express for your dad. You know, it's time to get it for him." So
rightfully so.
Yeah, we looked all over the place, found this one.
Somebody needs to get that man an award.
That's what this is. This is the award.
Polishing's award.
But these things are rare. They only made them 2 years, and they made very few. And I think there's only in the 78s. I think there's only like 4,000 registered left in the U.S. And in this one, I think there's probably just a little more than that.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
So.
Cool. This one is 79, right?
Yes.
Cool.
Yep, 79. Because it's got the double stack rectangle headlights. So
instead of the 8s were what, round?
Yeah, round with
gotcha.
a turn signal in it. So
I don't know a lot about them except I like them.
Yeah, they're cool. They're really cool. There was a hot rod truck. It was like the first newer hot rod truck. Dodge found a loophole that if you had stacks on a truck, you did not need to abide by any emission standards. You could do whatever you wanted. So in 78, they put stacks on it, made it up, a hot rod truck that was faster than any production truck of that generation. And then the very next year, the EPA changed the law so that they had to have cats on them no matter what. So,
it's a shame.
But Dodge is always finding loopholes and making really cool shit. So,
cool stuff.
Yeah, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to get into buffing this whole vehicle front to back. Griot's hooked us up with paint correction pads, their new G9 random orbital polisher, correction cream, which this stuff is incredible. We'll show you how to use that. They even sent us stuff for the wheels, the tires, the interior, the glass. They sent us a whole care package to get this truck right. So, yeah.
All right. Well, before we do that, let's show them where it came from.
Yeah, we'll roll some footage here and show you some shots of when we picked it up. And we didn't tell my dad it was for him. We actually told him it was for a customer, and we needed his help to look at it because we knew he had one. And so he came with us, looked at it, and he was like, "Yeah, your customer's gonna love this. This is gonna be great. This is gonna be great." And then we waited till it was in the truck on the trailer, and we were heading home before we told him, because we knew if we told him it was for him, he would have just said, "No, I don't deserve it. I'm not getting it."
Grab the tissues.
Yes.
Maybe not.
Violence. All right, let's check it out. So, Dad, that truck's yours.
No, it ain't.
Yes, it is.
No, it ain't.
Yep, it actually is.
It's yours.
Why?
We worked with Mom and found you a truck,
What?
and that's yours.
Get out of here.
Yep. So we're gonna help you fix it up however you want, and I'll paint it if you want, but we'll get it all finished up and back on the road for you.
Nuh-uh.
Yep. You sold yours so, you know, Mom could get her van and take us to school and everything else, so this is it. This is yours. Yep. No lie.
Where'd the money come from, though?
Doesn't matter. It's yours.
Damn.
You have your hot rod Little Express truck. Get back.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
It's awesome, right?
Yeah. Sure is.
Now that you know it's yours, you want to go look at it again?
I'm right back like this.
That's awesome.
So because it's been sitting for so long, what we're doing now is we're just putting some water on the surface just to clean up all the dust and bird poop, rat poop, all the stuff that's been sitting on top.
Loose debris.
Yeah, the debris.
Makes it look like that.
A little better than that one.
I know, that's cool.
So like, you can just see all the dirt that's coming off just with water. So if we were to start buffing or polishing that right away, all that dirt would just start scratching the surface, and you wouldn't really get a good finishing product out of that. So as we were cleaning up, getting ready, we noticed that the front fenders here, they stick out past the hood. So we
And show them this side.
yeah, we're gonna actually, it's touching this cowl almost all the way down. So we're gonna loosen this up and move the hood forward a little bit just to close this gap up, get that nice and clean. And yeah, we just gotta straighten that. That's just sad.
It is. But we're gonna fix that. I'm gonna show you how.
Yeah, we're gonna fix it right now.
So, if you look here, there's little slots where the hood can move up and down. I'm gonna shift it out just a hair, and I think that's probably gonna be enough, but we're gonna lightly lock it back down and set this down and see what it looks like.
That's probably good.
That's always good.
Yeah, that's good. Back there. Is it already touching?
It should be further away than it's ever been. Yeah. There should be indicators there. That's a lot better.
Yeah, that's almost perfect.
And then this side, we just gotta pull up. Still gonna have that gap, but I think that's fender.
Yeah, that's fender. We can mess with that.
All right.
Okay. We're gonna have to do this a couple times.
Trial and error.
You will not get it on the first try.
Dude, you're God.
Yeah, that's.
Now you gotta open it again. That side's still down. That corner.
Yeah, a little bit.
We'll get it. Let's worry about some other stuff. Let's buff it, Dan.
Jimmy?
Let's make like Jimmy and buff it. That's not even funny. I'm out.
So I've got the orange pad from the Griot's company, and what I'm going to do is on the back here, at the top and bottom, so 180 degrees from each other, I'm going to do a line with this Sharpie pen. And what that's going to do is it's going to give me a reference mark up there and down here. So as I'm buffing, I'm going to be able to see that mark over and under my buffer. So as it's spinning, that mark is going to look about a 1/2 inch, 1/4 inch wide. And that's really where you want it to be, is you want it to be a 1/4 inch width when it's spinning. And if it's longer than that 1/4 inch, it means you're spinning too fast. If it's smaller than a 1/4 inch, that means you're either going too slow or you're not using enough, you're using too much pressure. So that's kind of just like a quick reference to kind of eye up where you're at before you make contact with the surface, because that's when you do damage if you're going too fast or you're pushing too hard. So that's just a little Griot trick to keep an eye on everything. So it's good to put tape down and work in one section at a time. 2 feet by 2 feet is kind of the area you want to work. And don't cross panels. You want to stay on one panel at a time. If you cross panels, then you can burn through a lot easier, because the chance of you forgetting which panel you worked on is pretty high. When you go to do this part, you might come up over this too high and burn it. So we're just going to focus here. There's a body line here that we're going to just kind of come up to, and I'll hit the top edge of it with this, and then when I go to do this part, I'll just hit this side a little bit. But this is burned through already from just years of sitting outside. It looks like it might have had a cover on it at one point, which would explain a lot of this blotchiness on the hood. The cover probably sat right there with water in it. So we've got our correction cream from Griot, and then our pad is on here. Again, I've got my lines on there. So they're pretty adamant about adding this cream to the pad, and they use the term butter, buttering it into place. So for the first bit, you kind of want to just rub it in like this and try to coat the whole pad so you don't have any kind of dry spots that are going to mess you up. And then with this, you just kind of pick a spot to start from, and you want to go left and right and in one direction, about 50% overlaps, and then you do the other direction, just like that. A lot of guys on YouTube and even at car shows, they'll go and buff one of these surfaces, and they'll just keep slathering all kinds of cream on it, and then they sling it everywhere, and they just keep putting more on it. But these pads can only take so much moisture. So once it's saturated and it's wet and cool to the touch, you really can't put any more in it. So then it's just surface prep. Like, you can get it on the surface, wipe it around, get a nice even coat on it. This will just do the work for you. You don't have to really put a lot on it. We're going to use Griot's best in show, or best of show wax next. And what that's going to do is that's going to put a really nice gloss finish over top of what we just smoothed out. It's going to protect this surface and give it a little bit of moisture on it, so that way it doesn't haze up again like it did. And then after that, we can go into like the spray waxes and stuff like that to maintain it down the road. They said this truck is going to get painted eventually, but right now we just want to seal it so it doesn't rust out or any of this bare metal doesn't get really bad. But best of show wax, you want to shake it up really well. We've already done that. And then you want to prime the pad itself. And to prime the pad, you want to just kind of do a swirl from the center out. Kind of like this. Doesn't have to be consistent, just on there. And then just kind of use your finger and make sure there's no huge blobs in there. And this primes the pad and fills the pad with the material. Again, the pad is foam, so it's only going to take so much material itself. And we're not trying to put so much on here that it's shooting everywhere. You just want enough that you're going to get a nice even coat across it. Yeah, there we go. So again, same principle. You go back and forth in one direction, about 50% overlap, and then you go in the opposite direction, back and forth. And then if you get dry, you need to add some more. You just do a couple drops, dots across the pad. You don't do the swirl again. That's only for priming the pad the first time. If you do that every time, you'll get stuff everywhere. And you'll waste a lot of product. That's expensive. All right, here we go.
Just hearing the cloth go over it,
Yeah.
you could tell the difference.
Yeah, it actually slides across it, which is nice.
That's cool. Wow.
Even from this to this, it's a big difference.
Yeah. Huge. Huge.
You always want to wipe the surface down with a microfiber after each pass, because if you get a buildup of material on there and it dries on there, you pretty much have to either wet it to get it off or scrape it off. And you don't want to do that. No one wants to do that. All right, so we are just about done buffing, polishing this front end here, but Andy's moved on to some of the metal polish. So Griot has this really awesome paste, and this stuff is heavy-duty metal polish. It works incredibly, and Andy's got a little tiny mini buffer, and he's just going to town over here and making it look brand new.
Nice line there.
Yeah, I mean, this is before all this oxidation and everything, and then shiny. I don't know why I said it like that. That's weird.
It's a little weird, but
We're gonna go with it.
we'll let it slide.
Get in there. That is the end of day one for buffing the Lil Red Express. We covered a lot of ground today. It's very slick. It's very slick. The two-part system with Griot's garage is ridiculous. Like, that stuff works so good in that buffer. Really made short work of the whole thing, because you don't have to keep chasing like any swirls or anything like that. That eliminates all of that. So
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. Even a guy like me could use it.
yeah, he did the bed rails and he did the bumpers and all that too. They all stainless, and it just popped up. So
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
we're gonna get a little more done tomorrow, but for today, I think that's gonna be the end of the project. And the wheels are gonna be trouble because they've been sitting for a while. So there's some mag wheels, so I'm gonna have to put some elbow grease in those, some wet sand and polish. And not looking forward to that, but we'll get to it.
Dan will get to it.
Yeah, I'll get to it. But yeah, actually red now, which is nice. Matches the name. So
Little Orange didn't have the same ring.
no, Little Orange does not have the same ring. But yeah, so next time you see us, we'll be back in here and getting some more work done on this. So double pistols. See you guys later.
Double pistols.
Double guns. Shoot 'em again.